today we are going behind the scenes of my actual Etsy shop, and I'm going to take you through creating the very first product that I ever made. I'm going to take you into our shop stats so you can see the actual listings, the actual revenue. So come along with me and my trusty glue gun, and I'm excited for you to see it all. This is the letter. I cut it on our laser, so it's not made out of floral foam because I do want this to last a very long time. And here we are in the studio. This is where all of the magic happens with the Etsy shop. I've had many days at this table. I put it on the risers that I actually used for my college dorm room bed. And that was so that I'm not bent over all day. And I've spent probably, oh my gosh, hundreds, thousands of hours at this desk over the last 8 years, working till 11 p.m. at night when my husband was deployed, working while pregnant, working with a newborn strapped to my chest. All of our flowers for our wedding project, those are all actually from a Floral, which is a floral website. Since developing the Etsy shop, we moved to some other suppliers. Now, this is all before I started my coaching business. I made over $1 million in profit with these types of materials and products related to this before I ever started teaching this. I realized there was not really a lot of education out there that used real corporate e-commerce principles. I saw a huge opportunity for me to help people and to share my knowledge in a way that could impact many more people other than just my family. I always say, if you can make an impact, you've got to make the impact. And if you don't do that, that is doing such a disservice to what God has given you ultimately. My gosh, I love these tea roses. Okay, I'm taking these tea roses. They're my favorite because they come in the perfect sizes, great size variations, and they're quite small and easy to work with, right? So compared to a normal size like peony, right? This is a much smaller, easier to work with product. I'm gonna do this like I would normally do this for a client. Now, when I was working on orders, I would do about 20 letters in a day. My profit on the letters, let's say 70 to be conservative. These larger sizes like this could sell for, my goodness, like $200 right here. This is going to be about 26 inches. I do have some other flowers that I'm mixing in. Oh my goodness. This comes on a peony bouquet from my favorite supplier. This color is really hard to find. This is a super full peony, so many layers to it. And you can sell this flower. It was 30 cents. This is probably about 7 years old. They stopped making this exact color. So instead I ended up doing special makeups with a factory with this color in a different flower style. That flower is probably worth about $8 right now when I paid about 30 cents for it. Trim all of the stems off because when I made this for our wedding, I was sticking these into floral foam. So they did have little stems on them, which made sense for that purpose. But for this purpose, it does not make sense. And I was hoping to integrate some other flowers, like the little tea roses I showed you from Michael's, like this one. I don't know that I will need to. There's one more flower that just means so much to me. They do not make this anymore. I cannot tell you how many Michael's I went into at almost 9 months pregnant with my first, buying them completely out of stock in this flower. This is a spider mum from Michael's over 8 years ago, and we bought thousands of these things. It was because it was one of my power listings, which these flowers you will see were really integral. There were about 5 of these flowers on that power listing, and everyone loved the look of those flowers. Now, trying to recreate the same look and feel doesn't really work without those spider mums. So I'm gonna do some filler with these little guys because I want this one to look really full. I also want it to be neutral enough so that it's not so pink. I'd love to be able to maybe put it in a guest room. I should see if I can make it look as close as possible to the previous one. It had some brighter pinks on it, so maybe I will include a couple little pops of brighter pink. Basically, I'm gonna do a full layout before committing to anything here. Oh my goodness, loving how this is coming together. I hired a military spouse when I launched the coaching business. And I was just at the point where, I've been 6 years in. I'd actually had vascular surgery, like a lot going on with my health that made it hard to stand here and do this specifically. And she would come to my house every single day, Monday through Friday, and create orders. That was a really great time up until she moved to Texas, which if you know someone in the military, they move a lot. When you hire hire employees, when you're building businesses, when you're growing businesses, you have to constantly reprioritize. And this has been an amazing business for myself, my family, for another military spouse. If you look at this space, right, this is not the only room that Etsy is in. It's also throughout my house, right? When we have employees here, they are taking over the full dining table, the full kitchen. I had to make a decision. Do we want to keep going at this pace, keep growing this arm of the business, or invest in a warehouse space here in Southern California? To be honest, the idea of moving into warehouse, it was really complicating a lot of things that we didn't need to complicate. And so that is why we have made a tough decision to actually pivot into different product types in the future. I remember working at this table just like this on orders. My husband was deployed. It was in the middle of COVID. My dad was very sick, deep into addiction. I was completely on my own. Oh my gosh, I would work until like 11 o'clock at night, literally until I could not stand. I felt such peace and solidarity because I'm here working at this table. And I know my husband, he was out there on the submarine in the middle of the night. He was probably just starting his shift. So I felt like, all right, I'm starting my night shift here. That was when I put my foot on the gas. Like, I did not want life's circumstances and what was happening that was outside of my control to have more power over the rest of my life. I really believe that how you handle what life throws at you, that is where winners are made. And having experiences like that where you look back and you think, wow, if I got through that, I can get through anything. It gives you just a confidence about what you can handle. And I stand here today, making this floral letter just like I did 8 years ago with kind of a full circle moment. I'm liking it. We need to do some filler. So I'm gonna get my little hydrangea clippings. I don't want to look at it in our guest room or something later and think, oh, I could have had one more little flower there, or it's missing something right there. Okay. So here we are. Okay, I think I like it. It's very similar to the original, which I like. We do have one more greenery piece we need to add in. Yeah, right there. Okay. So thank you for coming along while I made my very first product, recreated it. It has been such an amazing journey growing this business. And now it's time for phase 2, where you can see this takes up my whole house, right? We've decided to make that transition into fully the 2 businesses that we currently have. The shop, we still have it. We're going to use it as examples in a lot of our trainings now that we can share it. This is a little bit of a different video, but I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
After I joined the program, I gained so much clarity. Dylan is a wealth of knowledge and she shares all of her secrets with you. That coaching aspect of it, you can't get that through reading or watching videos.